Okay, so let's go to what I think is a particularly horrifying story that came out this week. A group of atheists accurately called American Atheists,
that's original.
have decided to sue New York Mayor Michael Bloomberg, New Jersey Governor Chris Christie, as well as the states of New Jersey and the city of New York over this Ground Zero cross. Now, this cross was found literally within 36 hours after the attacks on 9/11. It's two pieces of the beam of one of the World Trade Center towers. There you can see it. Perfectly shaped cross, and it has stood on the site of Ground Zero for the last 10 years. Well, this group, American Atheists, is now suing to prevent this cross from being displayed at the 9/11 memorial. Bowling, you were there on 9/11 at Ground Zero working on Wall Street. Your thoughts?
No, I watched the second plane fly into the tower. I saw the towers come down. I saw friends. I saw people jumping out. It was a horrible scene. But I did also see, I saw George Bush get up on the records and say, they'll hear you. They'll hear you loud and clear, and the people who took down these buildings will hear you loud and clear. When that cross emerged, it was kind of like the symbol of hope. And that whole area was devastated. And then we saw that, and it was like, there's hope. Someone is going to look down and take care of this area, and they have. And now the atheists want to yank that. I'm outraged. I'm outraged at the anti-God agenda.
Yeah. He is outraged at the anti-God agenda, which is ironically exactly what the Muslim extremists that flew the planes into the Twin Towers on 9/11 were also enraged about. They felt that America was separated from their God, and it led to the extremists who flew planes into our buildings and killed all those people. Oh, and left a cross-section, a crossbeam, a steel crossbeam. That never happens, by the way. When you're building a giant skyscraper, you never have crossbeams. There's no way there could possibly be like 10,000 different crossbeams in a single building. Oh, and they found one. Fucking incredible.
I mean, it fell off
that's the way that it fell.
And it happened to be standing. It happened to be standing like that. And everyone just said, "Wow!" And honestly, the teddy bears and the flowers around that thing. That thing.
I'm wondering if they would take it as a sign from Satan if they found the cross like upside down. And it's got to stay. I mean, the flowers and the teddy bears. It's got to stay.
It's such a sacred symbol on sacred ground, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Look, I guess that's what happened when you don't believe in God. You have all this extra time because you're not praying, and you use it for unproductive things, like suing about this.
What? She's like, if you have all this extra time because you're not praying, you do unproductive things. Which is, I guess, implying that praying is productive. I mean, ask Rick Perry. He prayed for rain, and he got fire.
The fact of the matter is, the atheists are upset because it's the only religious symbol, they say. There's no other religious symbol around. That's not because it's not allowed to have another religious symbol around.
Yeah, don't you guys remember the Ground Zero Mosque? You're totally allowed to have your religious shit all over the place. Remember? Remember how open conservatives and Christians were about the Ground Zero Mosque and how they didn't care at all? They were like, they're free to practice their own religion, right?
I mean, I just think this is absolutely ridiculous. The atheists in New York City need to find something better to do with their time.
What, like find totally common pieces of steel structure and claim that they are a sign from God and therefore what? I don't know. Like your God is so powerful he can make the cross in the rubble of the freaking disaster, the tragedy. He can't stop that, but he can make sure there's a cross there for you to find to give you hope. It can't stop the killing of thousands of people, and then in turn that led to a war that killed hundreds of thousands. No. God just, he works in mysterious ways. He doesn't fuck with our human affairs except to put little crosses in the rubble of our fucking torn down buildings.
Don't you think that Ground Zero represents a battle in this war, and the war was brought to us on 9/11 by Islamic terrorists acting in the name of their faith, but we can't put up a symbol of Christianity or Judaism or anything else?
Well, there is no or Judaism. There is no Jewish symbol being put up at all. There's no Star of David being put up. It is simply your cross. It is Christian only.
Thing is, it was, I mean,
I think we established it wasn't even a created symbol; it was an accidental symbol. So the argument that we created this cross is a bit weird. The other thing too is I have absolutely no quarrel with atheism. I think the eternal question that we all face in the loneliest parts of our night is whether there is a God or not, and people come to this decision of their own. However, this is a really, really stupid battle to fight, and I don't see these guys going to military cemeteries and going, hey, these white crosses, let's get rid of these white crosses. They're too scared to do that.
Let me let you sleep better tonight. There is a God.
Well, let me tell you this, from an atheist. If I died serving in our military or whatever, and you put a white cross above my fucking grave or to mark where I would be buried if they never found my fucking body, I would be fucking pissed off. Of course I wouldn't be, because I wouldn't be looking down from heaven at it, would I? I'm an atheist. If you put the cross above my fucking grave, you're basically saying, meh, this guy, if we're right, he's burning in hell. But we're going to respect him by putting a cross over his grave. Fuck you. And then to sit there and be like, let you sleep easier. There is a God. Go read the Bible. Tell me if the God of the Bible makes you feel at ease. And like you can just do, live your life. You let me know. Because I read the fucking Bible, and that's not the feeling I got at all.
But this raises a bigger point. Now, I know this is going to get me into trouble, and I know you don't like me saying this, but we're all going to remember 9/11. But it was 10 years ago. Now, in the meantime, we have had the Patriot Act, which has taken away, I know we'll talk about that later, taken away a lot of our rights. We've closed down a lot of our buildings. We have dogs everywhere, 15 different new agencies to spy on everybody else. At some point, we got to get back to living our lives. I know it's sensitive to you, Eric, and I know you have friends that died there, but we can't keep going back to 9/11.
Bob says this because he barely remembers what happened yesterday, let alone today.
No.
Yeah, not the time for a joke, you dumb cunt.
I don't diminish it at all. I'm just saying that we can't continually live our lives according to what happened on December.
We have war memorials everywhere as testaments to Americans who lost their lives in the course of war, whether in service or as civilians.
What the fuck do war memorials have to do with his point, which is we've totally stopped being free and being Americans, and now we spy on our civilians and we spy on our troops and we listen in on phone calls, and you have to fucking have your crotch, grabbed by some weirdo in order to get on a plane. The fucking terrorists won. Not only did they fucking hit our fucking buildings, but they changed our whole way of life, which is what they fucking wanted. They didn't like the freedom that we had. And now here we are fucking in the chokehold of the Muslim extremists fucking 10 years later. He's saying to move on. And she's like, but there are war memorials everywhere. Great point, you dummy.
So this memorial means so much to the survivors who lost loved ones, and to have this cross.
Atheists should go to camp,
we don't
right?
close down our we don't close down the mall in Washington, which happens in where I live, and close the doors to the Supreme Court.
What is getting over, paraphrasing you, getting over the World Trade Center 9/11, what does that have to do with allowing these people to put a cross up there? I mean, this is anti-God.
I thought I'd sort of broaden it out a little bit.
God is on every single day. Here's a $5 bill with God we trust.
We all think there was a dumb, we all think it was a dumb idea. I just wanted to raise a bigger point, that's all.
And by the way, we should all be libertarian on this question. We don't care what faith you practice, and if you choose not to believe, that's fine too. And therefore, these atheists shouldn't care about that
Don't
cross.
silence.
What the fuck is this clusterfuck of a news show that is going on? It's retarded. They go from talking about like 9/11 to simply talking about the cross, and then God is on our bills, and then this dumb bitch is like, we should take the libertarian approach. And that is, you can have your faith and I can have mine, which is why we should only put up this Christian cross at the fucking memorial. They're not going to have any. Muslims died in 9/11. There were Muslims in those fucking buildings. They will not be putting up any fucking like crescent moons or anything like that for those Muslims. Atheists died. They will not be putting up any atheist memorial things. The only thing that they want to put up is this fucking piece of cross section, as if their God is so powerful, so almighty. All he can do is make sure that something that was already there ends up surviving one of the tens of thousands of cross beams and cross sections in this entire fucking thing managed to survive. The power of your God knows no bounds. Stopping the planes or the terrorists or the wars or anything like that, no way. But man, can he fucking do the simplest of things. Wow. Go Jesus.
Nobody was complaining either. They claimed that people would be offended, but nobody wrote any
was saying
letters.
that they were offended.
Silly.
Exactly. All right.
They're not suing for the right to piss off Christians. They're suing because it's a fucking principle thing, okay? Because like you said earlier, you've already got God on every fucking piece of money. It's one of the reasons I don't carry cash anymore. I carry a motherfucking Visa. And guess what? On my Visa card, it doesn't say "In God We Trust." And funny how that works. And you want to privatize everything. The federal government puts "In God We Trust" on everything. Visa does not. Visa is private. Government is obviously not fucking private. And you want to privatize everything. Seems like your God will be out of here quicker than fucking anything. The point is that I don't care about the fucking cross. I care about the fact that you feel entitled to the fucking cross as if this is a Christian nation and only Christians were killed in 9/11. It's not fucking true. You need to open your eyes and realize that not everyone shares your fucking faith. And just because you have the majority does not mean you get the right to force your faith on the rest of us, the minority, the people who are not of your faith. So how about we all just remember the reasons that 9/11 happened in the first place, and that is fucking religion. Coctopus out.